All right, so before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I thought it would be fun to just look at the store. So back when I was playing, I would always only see the featured stuff, and then I would always just scroll down to the Bright Dust stuff. So you can see you can get like the Good Boy mask for Bright Dust, and yeah, honestly, there's always some good stuff to earn. Like I always saved my Bright Dust for weapon skins and shaders. And so on the featured list, I'd always see these shaders. And okay, these actually look pretty sick. Like this is a mummy one, which is pretty cool. Not exactly sure what this is, but it looks pretty awesome. But of course, you can only buy this stuff for silver. You can't earn it in any way in game, which kind of sucks. Because yeah, some of that stuff looks awesome. And then on my featured stuff, I also have like the Heresy shader pack. Like it knows I like shaders because it's on my featured page. But yeah, these shaders that are always for silver only are actually super, super sick. Like this one looks like the Matrix. Super cool. But yeah, we'll head back to the store and just see how much stuff is in here for the event. So of course, you've got the new Festival of the Lost armor set. I'm on my Titan, but each character has their own. But then if you scroll, they do this like every year, and it's 1,500 silver. So that would be $20 Canadian. Damn, plus 200 bonus. So I guess I might get 1,700 silver. But yeah, 20 bucks per set, and that's for one character. So if you wanted to buy this on all three, like, well, I guess if you just wanted to buy the new ones on all three, you're looking at 60 Canadian. But yeah, then if you wanted to buy past ones, where did that go now? So you can see I rarely bought anything with silver. Like I said, I would save up pretty much just for the shader packs. But yeah, it really goes to show just like, yeah, they really do put a lot of money into Eververse. Again, I don't know if these are new this year. Like I think this one was an old emote. But yeah, there's tons of shells for like 600 a piece, which is pretty expensive. That's like $7 just for one ghost shell. So yeah, then you've got ships and sparrows, emotes and stuff. So yeah, that is probably the main reason that they hold these events, is so they can sell new armor sets. And I'm not saying these sets look bad at all. They're actually pretty cool. I'll show you the new ones for the other characters. I think they look pretty dope. Oh, of course I selected Titan. Sorry, bear with me. So the Hunter one, I remember seeing that way back. I think I even voted on it. But yeah, I remember this one looks super sick. So that's pretty cool. Let me know down below if that's from a certain movie. I know the last one was Friday the 13th. And let's see what the Warlock one looks like. But the point is, yeah, basically, they pretty much put these events in to sell skins. Because they released a new event, so let's talk about how that event went. Because I hopped on Twitter for a second, and all I see is people talking about how it's soft locking everyone. So before we talk about the activity being soft locked, I just want to point out they do have 3 new weapons. This is a kinetic SMG, I guess. And then this is the Arcane Embrace, but I'm sure it's tiered loot, so it probably has like an updated perk pool. And then some bow. But yeah, this is just a reskin of Recluse, which is fine. Reskins never bothered me, but I figured I would just point out that it's not like it's a new gun model or anything. And then I don't know if there's like 2 versions of these, if they have the holographic or whatever the case is there. And then we have another tweet from Lucky saying these are the new Festival of the Lost masks. And even the masks are bugged, if you can believe that. So yeah, we'll get to this in a second. I'll come back to that. So they have this Weasel error mask, so they're leaning into the meme that their servers never work on launch. And it sells for 404 Glimmer, kind of an ode to Error 404. So, I mean, that's fine. It's funny to like meme on stuff, but at the same time, when your game is in a state that it is, joking about the shitty state that it launches in probably isn't the best idea, especially because their new activity launched bugged. but we're not out of the woods yet. So Luke CB14, he said, so close, that's Nimbus. So it says Lodi mask, but then I guess that's Nimbus. Anyway. And then it seems to be this way for a number of masks. You got the fungal mask looking like whatever that is. That's Callus, but it says Oryx. Not sure what that is. Maybe like Predator or something, but it's supposed to be the Grim mask. And that is clearly not failsafe. I don't know what that is. But anyways, yeah, like even the masks are bugged. Nothing can launch unbugged anymore. And then Forcer says, the funny thing is the Eververse exclusive mask doesn't have this glitch. They all work in game. It's just the preview that's bugged. So at least it's just a preview. But again, it's just one of these things where they literally cannot launch anything without it being littered in bugs. So this from 51 minutes ago, we're actively looking into an issue where the Headless One boss cannot take damage in Haunted Altars. That's their new activity. Want to fill your candy buckets in the interim? Use this workaround in the first phase of the boss fight. Wait the 10 seconds until the shriekers close, and then complete the damage phase to avoid the soft lock. So yeah, basically just saying to wait before you bake the boss. If they didn't health gate every single boss, this probably wouldn't be an issue. Fallout Plays says, just FYI, we got error-coded mid-run, and then when we got loaded back into the activity, we weren't able to load up any more zones, had to reset. Unsure if anyone else is getting that or just us. I've been loading into soft-locked instances for about 10 minutes now. This event is actually so broken. I've also experienced the second situation. So, like, your player base is dwindling, right? That's just a fact. I haven't checked out this new site, but let's look up popularity report real quick because they actually show things. So now people can't yell at me for using, maybe I should have looked at how to actually use this. Players, 71 million. Daily online. I wonder if we can shrink this. Okay, this is too hard. We're going to use the Steam charts, but let's see. So pretty good. 30,000 people signing in for Festival of the Lost, where, oh my god. Yeah, I haven't looked in a while. I've been pretty busy in September and October. So they were getting, oh, this is Tuesday. So this is reset time. So take that with a grain of salt. But even still, they're dipping into the 4 digits. Not even breaking 10,000 concurrents on Steam. Oh my god. September average players 19,000, which is still actually better than January 2025. But last 30 days, 15,000. Peak players 32. So yeah, they're getting close to hitting a new peak with Festival of the Lost. But if we go back to people being upset. Oh, I thought this was funny. So Destiny 2 posted a tweet. Sorrow seeps through Soul's dark skies as an eerie power begins to rise. Moonlight fades and darkness creeps as a headless one begins to crave heaps of candy. Festival of the Lost returns tomorrow. So somebody said, bro, change it up. We're tired of the same shit all the time. And a missed opportunity to launch it on October 1st. Yeah, I don't know why they're only lasting 2 weeks now. But at least they launched it, you know, like Halloween's still 10 days away, so at least they did it pretty early, which is nice. They say Haunted Altars is a new activity for this year. Altars of Sorrow aren't new. Haunted Altars and Altars of Sorrow are 2 different activities. I'm not going to play the activity, but let me know down below if it is something like totally new or if it is just pretty much Altars of Sorrow with a coat of paint. Again, recycling old content never actually bothered me too much, so it's probably better than killing headless ones in Haunted Lost sectors for the past 5 years. That being said, it did launch completely broken, and yeah, again, that comes down to them trying to healthgate everything. So T1 Khan, he's a really good player. He says, I was actually enjoying this activity, but the very first instance got bugged and we soft locked at final boss. Bro, just hire more QA people. I don't think we go a single new activity without some bug. And this is true. I've been sounding this alarm literally for a year now. It was last October that I was starting to get a little fed up with the quality of the game when Season of Revenant launched and all the artifact mods were broken. And it has only gone downhill since. Sundered Doctrine, I still don't know if they've fixed the Shrieker boss, but that was really like the final straw for me because Vesper's Host was also quite broken last October. Like, a lot of things were broken between getting the catalyst for God, the solar sniper rifle, icebreaker, and you know, on and on and on. Servitor boss, tether, you get the idea. So we're a year on now of everything just launching broken. They even say they were actually enjoying the activity. Like, seems like people think the activity is actually pretty decent and they want to play it, but they can't because shit's bugged. And then Scaro says, why it is always the same 3 bugs with these freaking seasonal events? Like, just crazy. Mactic says, soft locked on the first run of the new event. Like, yeah, first run, you're excited to finally play something new. This game is starving for content. Finally get new content, and it doesn't work. Again, I've been sounding that alarm for a year. The community is not the problem. I am not the problem for pointing out the issues that Bungie causes themselves. We are not the problem. Bungie is the problem for launching shit broken and half-baked. Shield soft lock on boss. Game won't recognize third alignment flip. Sound bug is back, at least on PS5 and in the Red Rumble, which is like a PvP thing. So yeah, sounds like more bugs are being added just outside of the soft lock stuff. MacDix, I already read his tweet, but then this guy, again, haven't played the game in a month, and you can see that from the Steam charts, and came back today, first run, soft locked, and I Alt F4'd instantly. Game is beyond saving. And yet you keep coming back for the event, but that's also a snooze fest. So again, people want to come back and enjoy this game, and Bungie just shits on them every time they try to give them the benefit of the doubt, check out something new. The same thing happened with Ash and Iron launch. Basically, it had a new activity, which by all accounts was also a snooze fest, and but I think there were issues on day 1 of the Ash and Iron launch as well. First 6 runs, soft lock, bugged at phase 3, rejoined into the bugged lobby, rejoined into the bugged lobby. This game is fucking cooked. 6 tries this guy gave him. Like, that is just disrespectful to your players. Just outright. That is, like, that cannot happen. That is just, it's honestly rude. It's wasting people's precious time. Again, they want to play your game, and you disrespect them like that. Like, it's unbelievable. Paul Tassi says you can soft lock the boss from over damaging it, which actually it sounds like it's something to do with the Shriekers, but regardless, that was before Destiny made their clarification tweet, which of course will never happen with 6 people throwing supers at it at once. You have to wipe and not do it again. Instead, your teammates will run around shooting the immune shield confused. Needs to be hotfixed ASAP. 2 of my 3 runs have soft lock so far. 2 of my 3 runs, sorry. First one wasn't the final boss. It was from, I think, both of the alignment ogres getting killed at the same time, causing the objective not to progress past 1 out of 2. Same thing used to happen in Haunted Sectors. They literally don't test shit. So yeah, Haunted Sectors also used to have issues, and one of them was the timer. You could be done, and you'd have to sit there for like 3 minutes while the timer counted down, even though you killed your like 10 or 12 headless ones, whatever the threshold was. You just had to sit there and wait. I think that was 2 years ago, and then I think last year they fixed that, but even still, just like more errors. Cheese Forever says, I see why we didn't get a 6-player activity in the last 2 years. I wouldn't say the 12-player one works great either. And then got into one and the game crashed. So game's crashing. This whole thread is quite funny. You can read it for yourself. If you don't have Twitter, just pause my video. I just go down it. I liked a bunch of the tweets. They were pretty funny. This Drifter meme is pretty timeless and hilarious. A classic Destiny experience right there. Like, not surprised at all. They just don't care anymore. They don't even test the most common scenario. What a lack of care. Yeah, it's either a lack of, well, it is a lack of care. That's 100%, but it's also just a lack of staffing. Like, you can't get blood from a stone, right? They've laid off people. We know it hit the QA and QC teams. So there's just no one around to test all this stuff. But the train station must move on. You have to get those events before Halloween so that you can sell your microtransactions. So yeah, there's no waiting to test stuff. It has to get out the door on the day that they scheduled, because the schedule is the most important thing. Velocity over quality. So then I just had a few tweets. I wasn't sure if someone like actually photoshopped this, but it seems like it is for real. Lucky 10p said Festival of the Lost is bugged. I said Sky is blue because every single fucking event is bugged now. And then Paul Tassi said, kind of amazing that this year of all years, meaning like when the game is basically on its deathbed, is when we get an actual new Festival of the Lost activity. And then I said old recycled activity, but maybe works, referring to, yeah, they could have given you haunted sectors and at least they'd work. Or new activity, but soft locks 50% of the runs. Choose. Obviously, this is day one. I'm sure they're working on getting it fixed ASAP, but at this point, it's still inexcusable. You've been having Festival of the Lost since literally D1. I know it's a new activity, but it's like, you run these seasonal activities every year. How are we running into these same issues again and again? So anyways, I don't really care to properly edit these things. This is just me rambling because, yeah, I just thought I'd make a video on it because I do know some of you guys like these videos. I am hard at work on an Ark Raiders review for my second channel, as well as Battlefield 6 review. And then I may post my Battlefield impressions on this channel as well. Come watch me on Twitch at itstizzle7 if you want to see me play some games live. I'm back to Hades, and then I want to start Hades 2. I adore that game. It's super, super good. Anyways, that's enough self-promotion. Let me know if you're done with Destiny or playing Festival of the Lost or waiting till they fix stuff. As I always say, it's best to wait with Destiny 2, so maybe wait till Sunday at least before you hop in. But that's going to do it for me. Take care.